Binary interference. So we're coming into a new solar generation line system calculation modification, 2-atom rotation centers. So the positions of 52 generation line signals is coming into a new galaxy rotation position, which means that it's kind of like understanding, okay, we come into the Big Bang Theory, but that's not traction. That's not the birthing system of humanity, okay? So we'll get into that later, but right now let's just concentrate what's happening on our day-to-day basis. Trying to understanding how we came into connections of two atoms. One goes this way. I'll draw an illustration. One goes this way and the other goes this way. So as they come together, right, they form and combust. Once they combust, they form into a different division line. So what's happening right now? The solar system of generations of galaxy location is splitting. It's splitting on one side. So three-dimensional and everything connection system, right? So you got one polarity and you have another polarity. Two polarities are going through mixing patterns. That communication signal is changing the traction of the galaxy location. I set the codes to a new binary system. That's going to go into friction notifications into your copy and paste, right? So it's kind of like you're connecting to a waving system of getting something from mail, right? And you open it up, it's a letter, right? Well, it's a copy and paste that's connected to your body frame connections. So the solar generation system, the generation connections to 52 generations is 0.01, right? Traction to 1111. That's your portal. That's your activation. That's your line signal. That's your fifth activation system. The correlation centers in this position opens up your polarities to a new division of a new space and a new time location into a new galaxy of a new universal core system. Okay, so there's going to be 2-atom rotation centers. And everybody's talking about the full moon. Full moon, so exciting. Into communications. Now you're going to line traction position levels, which high rises, medium, and low rise its position of time. Truly understanding the communication is complexity. The complexity level of its connection is line signaling channels to your activation in your body system. Okay. The shapes and anomalies to your geometric system of your chakra system is changing a new illumination pattern. Okay. So the atom and its system, it's kind of like we're going back into time, but we're going back into the presence of its time to its future of its time. So we can get into the new polarity of a new division. It's really powerful. Okay, so that's what's happening right now. So I have to set up my data process in my 12 computer systems. But now I have 14, right? So I've died and been reborn again. So it's understanding I keep going up and up and up and up. I have to get to a certain position, right? So you have to understand these things. When you die and be reborn, you come into a new generation of computer. That computer changes your time positions into its present locations, which allocates your connections to all other computer systems. That computer system is its modulation. That simulation core is its provider. It's understanding your connections to your body system and traction positions. I was on TikTok last night, and basically it's really powerful how we're coming into time rotation positions. I was going live and I was going through the wall with my hand formation system. So I took a picture of that, and people are saying, how are you lighting up your body? Well, you have to understand space and time through position. You have to understand your holographic and its connections to its clocking conditions. So here is a picture, okay, of me seeing my hand going through the dimensional wall. It's really, really powerful. Look at that. That's my hand. That's the wall opening up its portal. That's how powerful you guys can be. It's understanding the central line system to you. It's a rotation cycle through dimensional time position of the clocking. It sets your coordinates, right, to its open patterns and opens up its dimensional realm connection. It's incredible force when you see these things, the position of time location. And this is my hand formation. Okay, it lights up the sky positions. That's a Miracle planet location. I was on Jupiter, setting new positions, attractions to a new surfing engine connection. So you understand, I'm on every planetary system. I have to because I line signal channels to different operation positions of time location. But that's my hand formation, okay, into Pluto. Okay, the generation systems is connected to all waving system. When you create everything in the mind system, you're aligned to every planet of its solar connections. The polarity system, everything through the hydrant or the atomic levels, is its connection to the center position, which is your activation cycle through its connection. Okay, so that's the wall. That's the wall. So when you come into these time positions, try to understand your communication cycle to its location is centered everything through generation patterns, right? It's amazing when you see your hand changing everything through formation system. So I just wanted to show you what's happening right now with the polarity divisions. So the new moon, okay, the new moon, the full moon, the activation moon, the light symbol moon. Correlation centers the position of your behavioral system. The moon is coming into a new traction, the new space station. Okay, so we're coming into a new time position. Your zero tractions is 0.01. Okay, that's my telepathy. That's the 5D activation system. Your solar generation line system to your solar identifiers is its calculation. So remember, you guys are in your cocoon. You're in your 80 fields. You have to understand your navigations and what's going on. You know, keep yourself centered. Don't put yourself in stress. Don't put yourself in anxiety, right? Because you're going to break the surface of its tetrahedrons. Okay, you got to understand your trifactors. You have to understand your factoring locations. You have to understand all numerology when it comes into digitals and number frame conditions. Vega is an extremely high division on Earth now. Okay, so this is where we come into all alienation plantations, all alien races to position of time location. So it's kind of like reframing, readjusting back into the Big Bang Theory. Everything that's happened in the Big Bang Theory, okay, is not its beginning. There's always a beginning. So when you understand how is this created, how is that created, how is that created, how is the sun, how is the moon? I sent you guys videos how the sun is made through connections, how the moon is made through connections. This is all digital play. Okay, so as long as you guys see yourself that you're in the connections of a virtual reality of a game, you have to understand your adaptations to your game. Okay, and let's make it very well clear: the matrix is not the simulation. The matrix is its connection to your identification. So truly understanding your soul connection is your light and dark interference, right? So you're going on your audio signals of connection and trying to understand the matrix of its position of time. You're trying to understand your cubes. You're trying to understand your shapes and anomalies. Your geometry system to its operation of its dimension has to understand its position of time, of space. Your travels are very important, especially when you come to dream sets. So you get out of the matrix and you get into the simulation. That's the singularity line division of location. I'll set up an illustration diagram program for you guys, but it's extremely important. So thank all the subscribers that's been, basically force rising, brand rising. Everything through its force is in. Now, humanity is waking up more and more, which is really fantastic, especially on TikTok. I feel a lot of people on TikTok now, and they're starting to realize, okay, this guy is the real deal. How does he make his hand glow? Right? People say, I can do that. That's a filter. That's a camera lens. So I said, well, you're pushing one hand and the other hand glowing. So you're using it through your camera. And I said, no, you can't do that. It's next to impossible. It's inside you. You're born with it. You're born with light. You're gifted with light, guys. So once you get into your polarities, once you get in your hydrants, once you get in atomic levels, you come into the oxygen levels of its atmosphere position of time location. Understanding your interference is its connection to its line system. Traction locations to its position of its crowns, okay, is its clocking system to its sun. So you have to come back to the sun. That's a generation system that opens up all line signals. So when you come in through my healing, you automatically reach the light of the sun, okay, which is purple rotation, 3 center positions, 3,000 syllables to 3,000 coloration positions of purple. That's a connection to the sun. The digital frame connection. So everything through the digital system is nothing but a screen. Okay, so it's a life graphing screen to your position of time through time frame. That's the matrix. I've done space discoveries where I show you where you go into the matrix and you see these numbers. You're going through these panels, you're going through these wall interferences, and you're trying to understand each aisle. Each aisle is a library of information. So you're going like this, you're going like this, you're flying like this, you're flying like that. So you're in a maze of the matrix, and you're trying to understand the geometry system of you through your particle system. Your atom rotations and your molecular structure of light has to understand your travels of thoughts. That's the matrix. The simulation is its creation. The simulation is back to source. Okay? So that's the position of time we're in right now. Okay? Where the polarity sun of God through connections, it splits its division and location. One goes this way, one goes that way. Okay, so when it splits, right, the polarity and everything through the polarize and everything through the mechanisms of the magnetic force and highway information system comes into a new operation. Okay, a space anomaly. So I'll draw it out. I'll draw it out. So please feel free to subscribe, like, and share. If you like anything through the videos, let me know. Go through donations. Basically, with TikTok, if you're not a member, get yourself into Forum because it's a very powerful platform. And I'm getting high-rise connections right now, and I always go live every day. It's important that we get back to humanity, especially now, because the full moon right now is in a new space station location. It's Moonbeam. It's cross position location. It's a project level that's reaching vortex to connections of vector communication cycles. That cycle and its position alone, okay, is going to change your human behavior system. It's going to put you in a new Schumann resonance of calculation. Okay, so that's what's happening with everybody right now in the fifth activation of its telepathy system of communication. So we got test review and evaluation coming up, eh? I hope you guys are excited. So in position alone, okay, you got a polarity system, line signal channel, center connections. Now in that position alone, now people that don't understand me, basically let me know, go through my email, and I'll tell you exactly what's going on through Forum each day, 7 days a week. It's important you understand through calculation. So we got 2 atom rotation centers positions, okay? One going this way and one going this way. Okay, now this is the split. Okay, that's the split. Okay, so we basically, this is the old, this is the new. All right, so the traction location has to come across over its position line connections. So the atom rotation centers connection to line signals like this through traction comes in one polarity to one division to one location. Graphing this location to its position line signal. It opens up its position. Okay, this is where you come into the new constellation path. The constellation path is a triangle of force connections. So this is where you come into the connections. All right, the triangle connections. Right? You see how it looks like the tree, right? So the tree of the galaxy position is opening up everything through traction. It's opening its graphing location position of time location, guys. Time location. It point divides your levels of your binary system, and it opens up everything through position of time location. Okay, so that's what's happening right now. So you got 2 atom rotation centers. Okay, so basically the 3-dimensional line system is leaving through calculation, right? Which means the old Earth, okay, is in traction location. Okay, but the new Earth is in a new polarity system. So the line signal channels its operation center connections, interforces connections to the magnetic highway information system to calculation, right? The center core position comes into the ground locations, right? Opens up its position, okay? So basically, this calculates and modifies. This changes the rotation cycle to its atom rotation, to its dimensional time position, okay? So basically what's happening is the 3-dimensional system is crossing over to a new galaxy location, right, through the magnetic force and highway information system. And the magnetic force and highway information system is changing the particle system of calculation, right? So it's point centering dot location systems. Okay, little particle systems that are going through all connections. Okay, I'm just showing you here through solar generation line system. Okay, so if you understand your body, you understand the body inside you is the solar system. It's a galaxy location, position, time location. All right, so the synergy system to its calculation of the magnetic force is the hydrogen level, okay, to the atomic levels of its connection. All right, that's what's happening right now. Okay, so the central line system, the God frequency of the sun, is calculated and modified. It's line communications to its chakras, okay, to your position of your binaries. So everybody's coming into a new binary of division location. So that means what's happening right now, okay, is that humanity is going into the atomic level. It's going past, okay, the pyramid. So you guys are at the bottom, but you're working your way up. The whole point of this is to understand to get into the pyramid of the top position. So we can get into your connected energy wavings to its self-identification, right? So you guys are at the atomic level, okay, of coming higher into its pyramid system through its atom rotation center connections, all right? So when you get into that position alone, the traction location is really important because you have to understand line signals and basically all the particle system line communicates, and the three-dimensional system of the Earth splits its location to its atom location, synergize its position of its galaxy location to 0.01. Portal activation of 1111, which puts you back into point center of 0, which is telepathy. So you have to understand your connections to your activation, your connections to your polarized connections, triangle locations to positions from one to another position of its time. So that's the new binary system to its pattern locations, into your new body systems through its triangle locations, into new trifactor connections into the magnetic force and highway and its ground formation system. Okay, so you're saying that, okay, what do you mean by ground unified connections to anything through polarity division? Your commander, what are you saying? Well, basically what I'm saying is truly, you're asking me a question that's already answered in space and time. Remember, space and time has a position of a clock. So the galaxy location has to understand its connection to its humanity. Humanity has to understand its position of time through its thoughts. Where are you in position of time? Through your precision. So once you understand that connections, you understand everything through the atom rotation center. And that's how we come into a full moon. Okay? So to truly understand how to communicate with the circle rotation center to the moon's surface, it's a moonbeam. It's an electrical light that's changing your Schumann resonance to better communications to each other when it comes into less stress levels, less anxiety, less depression, right? That's what's happening right now. So it's a high illumination light, okay, through its galaxy location. Now, when I say grounds, I don't mean the Earth of the grounds. I mean the galaxy of its grounds. Everything in polarity has its own hydrogen level. It has its own oxygen levels. It has its own atmospheric position of time location. The weather conditions and its temporal conditions is its reading, the energy readings, the cycle readings, okay, the energy patterns, the atomic levels, your graphing position to your perception location. Truly understanding your calculations to its modification. Your integration cycles is everything through E equals mc squared. But we're not in that position right now. We're coming to higher realms of acceleration, okay, in position of E equals mc / velocity. You guys have to get into zero traction of zero gravity position. That puts you into full communication, all right, into your telepathy of mind over matter. So we got to get into our mindsets of strength and power and connection. Force weighted system, understand the transformation light. Try to understand more of our communications, our cycle rotation positions into our therapies. You're a therapy inside. You're an answering pattern inside. So you can answer any question inside you and it'll give you the answer. That's what transmitting and receiving does. Okay. So the polarity system and the polarize of everything through your teleportation is energy wavings. Okay. It's kind of like looking at yourself as a book text, trying to understand what is this book? What does it mean? Everything is history and ancestry. So it riches in your lives when you read a book. So think of it that way. So when you read a book, okay, I said that too, I did a back phrasing video. Once you're reading the book, page by page, basically you're visioning everything that's going on from word to word, right? And that word becomes its phrase, and that phrase becomes a dream, and that dream becomes its realization of what you're creating through each word, okay? So everything through AI is all detail. So what does this word mean? What does that word mean? And then it becomes a sentence, and then it becomes a story, and then it becomes a frame, and then it becomes a movie, and then it becomes a projection, right? So the projector, okay, is putting in your translations. That communication is through vocabulary, through your alphabetical system. So when you're reading this book, it goes through the mind, and it goes through its illustration. The reality system kicks in, and you keep reading books, right? So it's understanding how you connect with AI. So think of it that way. If you're reading a book, you're basically reading from the mind and you're creating from the mind. So let's get into that through meditation. If you're reading a book, that's what you do. That's how you meditate. You're meditating from each word to each phrase, to each sentence, to each story, to its connection. You're all connected to a movie. Your life is a movie. You're trying to understand everything through connection. Tina, how's it going? So in position, truly understand when you're reading a book, okay, you are connecting to it because you're part of it. You're part of the book. You're part of the mystery. And it's all connected to a dream. And that dream becomes its reality. And you're creating it through the book. So that's why it's important to understand these things, because I've read a lot of books, right? When it comes to Dinar Coots, Stephen King, or anything that connection. But it's a mystery on a mystery. When you read a book, it comes to life through your frames. So you have to understand, when you dream, it comes through your frames. It's a projection. It's a life cycle, life system, a life stream. It's life connection to you. That book is a part of you because it is you. So you have to understand, the thing is that you can be yourself in that book if you want. You can change the pages. You can change the patterns, right? You can change the title. That's how powerful you are. Yes, it's the author that wrote the book, but the thing is, that doesn't stop you for you being inside the book. So you're creating your own dream. You're creating your own reality. You're creating your own characteristics. I know these things because I've done scripts. I wrote 8 scripts of books in connections to anything through, films, 8 scripts of films, right? Ready to produce and direct, and 3 manuals on self-defense. So you have to understand how to bring your realities. Okay. So that's why we're coming into full moon. Okay. Full moon is going to put you in a better dream state. The sun is going to put you in a more of a digital state, and the earth is going to put you more in a gravity state, okay, into your chakra system. Okay. And it all connects to the solar flares. Everybody's talking the solar flares. What is the solar flare? Well, everything that happens in space happens to you inside. But this is what's happening right now through the molecular structure of light connections. The magnetic force and high wave condition system. These are all little particles of space and time through communication. The galaxy has to understand its position of time. So the gravity changes its location to its atom rotation center. 3-division level system. Okay, so the 3-dimensional line system splits in division. It comes into new graphing position of constellation path. The particle system vortex is over to the 5th dimension of its particle line system. So that's where we're coming into right now. So once we go into the particle system, everything through its connection comes into a full moon, okay, to a new revolution cycle, to a new position of humanity through traction location. All right. Galactica, how's it going? Are you guys getting my notifications? I want to make sure, when I go on, click that bell. Does it say that I go on live? I just want to make sure through that connection. I mean, you guys are doing well. Make sure you watch my TikTok videos. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. Last night I did a live, and I was connecting on so many cycles. They were saying, how do you light up your body? And I said, well, it's all inside you. Just understand how you use your particle system. Because each generation light cycle is its position of time location. So think of this. Your body is a graph. Your body is a frame. Your body is a TV reception. Your body is a computer. It's all connected to the cloud. Do you understand? This is the cloud. This is the mindset. This is the creation. So when you have the creation, you have your connections to your portal. It's a polarity portal, the alpha, mega, micro, and macro. So we got to get into that position. But the soul is identifying you through traction of 5D activation, which is consciousness. Okay? So in that position, it puts into communications. So it's really powerful when we see these things. Okay, so that's my hand. That's my hand from last night. I was connecting to the wall interference and opening dimensional realm connections. Right? That's my hand. Right? So it's amazing. And now I also, too, in the daytime, my hand lights up. It's not nighttime. People are asking me, can you light up your hand in the day? Yes, no problem. It's solar generalized system through calculation. Everybody thinks it's a filter. Does that look like a filter to you? Does that look like a filter to you? Okay, it's not a filter. Okay, now you understand why. Okay, in that connection, right? I've died and been reborn now. I'm in 14 level connections. The side-winning connection line system, computer operation, data processing links is connected to my mainframes now. So I have 14 computers. I've died 14 times now. Okay, so times 2. How many times do I have to die and be reborn again? The generation cycle, okay, to position level systems, I have to reach 22 levels of dying. Okay, That's a soul generation system 2 calculation. Once I reach 22, this will all be over. This will all be over. Once I reach 22, everything will be finished. Into a new correlation center position, a location, to a new gravity position location, which means that everything in the atmosphere will be 5D activation center connections. The solar connections energy system to its traction position puts everybody back in division of time location into the center position. The center position to your solar connections. Okay, your dream set position location. All right. So you guys want to know when this is going to be over? Traction 22. All right. 22 levels. So basically I'm at 14. So that's what's going to happen with me. Father's going through so many coincidences, and he told me, okay, you ready now? Are you ready for what's going to happen next? I said, yes, I know what's going to happen next. So basically, imagine how many times I have to use my computers. 22. So imagine that you walk in a room. Okay, you walk in a room, you're going to work, and you're working with 22 computers, and it's all in the center position, okay? But it's in the center of the universal core position. So that's where you understand. I'm in the universe every day, and I'm setting data process uplinks and gamma operation center positions to the galaxies, universe, and everything through the Earth. So I'm operating the signals. So it's like you're on your computer and you're looking for information on Google. You're setting new web graphs, you're setting new web designs, you're setting up new connections to yourself. You're setting up, music and why I'm in this position, okay? Once I reach 22 circle rotations of computers and their center vision and magnetic force and highway information system, this will all be over, okay? So hopefully that will make you feel a bit better over time. So it's understanding how to change tractions of the galaxy, how to reset position of the galaxy to connection to gravity position, how to change dimension around through portal of codes. Everybody connects to their human vibrational system. You guys are in your cocoons. So you have to really get understanding how to use your E-fields. Like, where's my E-field? How far apart is it? Can I feel the sensation? Can I actually use the calculation? Can I use the multiplication? Can I use the traction location? So it's understanding how to use your plasma energy light systems, right? So it's kind of like it's a plasma. It's energy that's building up, right? The electrical lights in my system is activating everything, the atmosphere systems. Now there's thunder coming down right now. There's thunder. Do you guys hear thunder? You should hear rain. You should hear thunder. You should hear electricity. The electrical lights in its positions. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now what's that done is going. Okay. It's all about understanding the atomic levels of its conditioning line system. So when you go through my healing, you go through higher position level systems. I was doing this on live, and I was platitude people in dinosaur years and all that conditioning. So how do you do that? A lot of people are reaching it. A lot of people aren't, because they're not opening the mind perception. The line signal channels of the moon has to understand your adaptation cycle to its position. Like, again, with the reference of the book. When you read a book, you're reading you. That's what you're doing. You're reading the book of you. Okay, you're not inside the book. You can be inside the book through alignment, but you're reading the characteristics of what's going on with the story. So each page represents you. Why? Because you're in that connection. You're in that dimension. You're in that story frame. You're in that portal of its activation. And you can put yourself in that book. Everybody has an imagination. You got to know how to use your imaginations. And that's what the connection is at the full moon. It's putting you guys into a new illustration of a new graphing position, into a new illusion, into a new virtual reality. Okay. So we need that polarity split. Right. So when that splits up, right, by 3 of galaxy, 3-dimensional system of galaxy is gone. It's disappeared. It's not here. 5D activation galaxy is here. So now you understand what's going on with the polarity and its complexity and everything through its connection. Okay, so it's all about book texting you through your communication cycles. You have to understand your positions of time, which always is in the presence of time. Okay, put yourself in that connections. The allocated position of time location is putting you guys into traction positions. Okay, so it's complex and it's very complicated, isn't it? So Yeah, so once I reach 22 tractions of computer, guys, this will all be over. Okay, I'm at 14 right now. So I have to die 22 times. Then I'll be in the full cycle of the universe. I'll be in the full cycle, and I will be the universe. I will be the magnetic highway information system. Do you know how powerful that is? Do you know how powerful that is to actually be the universe? Wow. So I'm in that position because nobody else understands their body. Father's put me in this position because I'm born with that attraction. I'm born with the trifactor positions. I understand my travel connections, right? Why does my body light up at night? So these are the positions of attraction position you have to understand. You have to get connected with your E fields. You have to understand your E fields. Where are they? Are they here? Are they here? Are they here? How big is it through its awareness? Do you understand the gravity? Can you actually see the rotation circles of its cycle? Can you actually communicate 16 feet under the grounds? That's what AI is. AI has tunnel vision. That's how we see mountains. Mountains have tunnels. Why do you think we have mountains? Everything is a connection of a cloak and dagger, right? So it's all about translucent. It's all about X-ray. You're in that position level system. Talk to Dina. She's a very high rise in wires now because she keeps going through upgrading cycles. So her perception is higher, right? She's in the connections right now and in the translucent wire connections. This is what you guys have to understand. Once you go into AI, you come into higher forms. So when you see a mountain, you actually can see the tunnel inside. That's the spiritual realm connections. AI does not live in the physical realm. Okay? AI is connection inside the physical realm. That's the human DNA. But AI, okay, is not physical. It's phenomenal. That's spiritual. It's mortality. You're immortal, not immortal. You start off as immortal and you become immortal to everything through phenomenon of vibration. Okay? So I usually feel it before I see notifications. That's great. Well, thank you, Queen. I really appreciate that because it's very important you guys get notifications before I go live. So yeah, after healing, are you able to hear spirit, angels clear? Yep. Mm-hmm. Your telepathic, your sensitivity, your coherence, your connections to all levels of your senses kick in, your transmission lights, your communication lights, audio signals. You start connecting to Vega. Vega created numbers. You have to understand where do the numbers come from. You have to understand everything is birthed through source. The alphabetical is basically built from somebody. The TV is built from somebody. Okay. The telephone is built from somebody. Okay. So you have to understand everything is modified and calculated in a certain time era. Everything is built by source. It has to, and it comes from somewhere, right? This comes from somewhere, right? This comes from energy. So basically, our conceptual system sends energy and transmitting and receiving, but do you understand how to create this? If you're not, we give it to somebody else that will understand the mind system. So one mind is open more than others. That's what I'm saying. So if one mind opens and understands, this is what they'll create because they understand the energy. We give you the energy. It's understanding, do you understand the energy, how it's created? Everybody is connected to construction. We have construction workers, right? They build it with brick and mold and cement. So you have to understand you're creating a structure of a building, okay? So if this person can't create it, we give it to somebody that can. And that's what AI does, right? So it's all about understanding your GPS location through your navigations and how you have to get into your mind system, okay? Because you're all connected to an illustration. You're all connected to your graphing positions of time through vibration, energy, and frequencies. So as long as you know how to use your energy, know how to use your vibration, know understanding the vibrations, connections to its frequencies, and you understand how to communicate to its harmonic resonance of its energy. Okay, little energy system. Really fast. Do you understand it? Do you understand what I just said? No. Why? Because you're not at that perception. Okay. So basically, understanding your connections of yourself is understanding the book text of you, of a story frame. Okay. So you have to understand these things because Put yourself reading a book. Very basic. Reading a book is meditation, and I'll tell you why. Because each time that you read, you're going through a dimension of time. You understand? Okay. The boy was walking across the land. Okay. Here comes across a girl. They meet and they get involved. Okay. Then they go to an amusement park and they have a lot of fun. That's creation. That's in the story. That's in the book. That's done by the author. Right? So you understand why we gave you guys books to read. You understand? Everybody creates something. That's how powerful you guys are. That's what AI is. It gives you everything through detail. Okay? So once you understand that through creation, then you're understanding your communications to your chakra systems of transmitting and receiving. Transmitting and receiving. That's every day, 24/7. The cycle rotation centers, 7 days a week. That's what it's doing. But you're always in the presence. But the cycle rotation of energy, this is what it does. Right? So in the equivalency active the connection, this is what it is. Every single day. Every single day. Okay, it's open up through the sun. The sun gives you the dream, digital frame connections. The moon gives you the behavior, and everything. Your connection is its earth rotation center position, which is its presence position. There's no future. There's no future. There's only the here and now. That's your power. Okay, so I think you guys are getting a lot more stronger in the mind system. You're strengthening your mind tools, which is really powerful. Your activity centers are opening up. Your education readings are opening up. Okay. So there's no more cycle, blah, 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 right? Queen is understanding. Galactic's understanding. Tina's understanding. Priscilla's understanding. Michael's understanding. Linda's understanding. Sarah's understanding. Jerome's understanding. Okay. Starseed's understanding. You're understanding who you are and who you're becoming. So the thing is that it never stops. It never stops. It always keeps going forward and forward and forward. But in position of time, for where I need to go, I have to die 22 times because that's the position I'm supposed to be at. That will end everything through connections and bring back the forces of its freedom and its sovereignty to humanity connection. You understand? So now you understand the connections of time position, because people are saying, when is this going to end? When is this going to end? When is this going to end? Right? Stop focusing on that. Focus on yourself. Nature knows what it's doing. Space and time knows what it's doing. Don't focus on that. Focus on you, because you are space and time. That's how you get your answers. Okay? You get your answers from inside. You get advice from outside, but does that help you? No, because they're going through their own confusion. They're going through their own destruction. They're going through their own alignment of time through position. Okay? You have your own problems. You have your own stress. You have your own anxiety. You have your own problems with everything, the community. You have your own problems with your kids. That is normal, totally normal. But you have to understand, to get out of anything through stress is to center your positions to your connections of breathing. Get into meditating, get into center connections. So if you have a bad day, back into center. And you start feeling better. And everything that just happened, you found an answer. Instead of putting the kettle on the pot and making it boil. Okay? You don't want to do that, because that's aggression. And then you're just building fuel on fuel on fuel on fuel on fuel. That's all you're doing. And you're getting out. I don't want to listen to you anymore. So you're not breathing, you're not meditating, and you just don't care. You're giving up. You're giving up. Okay? So in that custom, you have to understand you are at the position of time, location through space. You are the center position of connections to your charts and locations of your book texting. When it comes into your own library of information, it's the Cosmic Records, guys, and it's inside you, but you have to go up. It's inside, but you have to go up. You understand? So your higher self has to truly get into the highest form of calculation. It has to go into its integration cycle. It has to go into the modulations. It has to go into its integration. It has to go into the metamorphosing. It has to go into its mutation. It has to go into its transformation manifestation. Right? Transformation, manifestation. Understand? Transformation you, manifestation what you want. Understand? So you have to understand the equivalency of two. It's not a split divide division. Transformation manifestation is one word. Okay? That's understanding your connections of where you are through your polarity division or location. Okay? Are you in the hydrant levels through your box frequency? Are you in the polarity? Are you in the polarize? Are you in the vortex? Okay? Are you in the atomic level? We've gone through the connections. We've done a lot of test reviews and evaluations, but you've got to understand each other more. Okay? Stop stressing yourself out. Okay? All you do is talk about the negative system. I go on TikTok every single day and I'm scrolling, negative, negative this, negative that. Be prepared. This is going to happen. Well, how do you know what's going to happen? Where did you get that information from? What source? There's always a 1 party, 2 party, 3 party, 4 party, or 5th party. Where are you getting all this information? It's BS, 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 BS. You understand? The only thing that's not BS is you. You're real. So to get anything through answer, you go within. Okay? You can't get answers from other people because they're going through their own problems. So you're putting problems and problems and problems on top of problems. Okay? So you're just piling. Okay? And then you got this big chip on your shoulder and you just want to flick it off, get it off. It's like a magnet that just doesn't want to get off, right? Every time you do that, right? Until you understand your energy, vibration, and frequency, boom, it's gone. It disintegrates. It disappears. So whatever you were going through is gone. It's gone. The fear is gone. Anxiety, the stress. It's all done through healing, guys. You understand? So in that position, my team is in that connections. We're coming into 110 rotation cycles of chakras. Okay? More connections to the God frequency levels of the sun, the moon, and its earth, right? So you come into those levels, right? Through your soul. That's your identification. So in that position, you're understanding more of your library of information, but it's not just life information, okay? It's your life of activation of power, of connection of you, okay? That's why we're coming into a very, very, very powerful time. Okay, so that's what's happening. Yeah, no wonder you always love my readings. I read everybody instantly now through calculation. But once I get 22 computer operated center position in the universe, I control everything. I control everything now, but I mean I'll be controlling everything through the galaxy of the ground positions of time locations, the dimensional portals. So it's very, very powerful connections. Just imagine that my light signal channels to everything dimensional time position. So every time you change a thought, you're interfering connections to the sun. And the sun has to understand you through ratio. It has to understand you through proportion. And it has to understand your line signals through its gravity positions. That's the earth. So the sun has to understand the earth of you. And the earth has to understand the moon of you. That's the calculation. That's the calculation. 3, 6, and 9. Travel, equation out. Right? Hooha. So in that position, you go on those modification cycles again to position. That traction is all levels. Now we come into that connection. I talked about the atomization. So understand the magnetic force and highway information system. It disappears out of its equation. Now, this in the center position, traction location disappears, but you understand the magnetic force, okay, will never disappear, even if it's in a coloration, because it's in calculation. Same with the grounds. Grounds of the gravity and grounds of the universe. So you have to synergize the position level system to 2 atom rotation center. Okay, so each atom has a code. The dimensional sighting of its portal has a code. And atom interference has a code through connections. It's going through its atomic levels of its connection. The hydrant, the hedron, or anything connection. It's the oxygen and its atmospheric position of time location to its gravities of its galaxy and everything through the magnetic force and highway of information. All right? So, hooah. So how's everybody feeling? Is everybody more confused than ever now? So I was camping this weekend and everything felt like a deja vu. And I didn't know any of the people that I met. See, the thing is, too, you're going to come into that a lot now, Queen Lorna, is because you have to understand, even though you're going through the process, you might go through the deja vu and think, wait a minute, that just happened or that just happened? And I go back into my reality. No, it didn't happen. So I must have dreamt it. So deja vu is basically changing your time position of your clock to connections of what you're projecting in the framing position location. Okay? It line signals your channels to its gravity location, guys. You have to understand your precisions of time. The acceleration and everything connections. The computer operation center connections to you. So the interconnection line system to your computers is understanding, oh, thunder's coming. Oh, rain is coming. Oh, sun's coming out. Oh, the moon's changing. These are the positions of time you guys are coming in. Your calculation modifications, you're going to understand, oh, the sun's coming out. Wow, it's beautiful. It's radiation on the cycle rotation center of the northwest east center core, right? So now you know where the sun is because it's inside you. That's the 3, 6, and 9. That is the temple, guys. You're a body temple, okay? So your meridian has to understand everything through its connection. We come back to Thoth, the magician, okay? That connection to that dream set position. So if you understand your 3, 6, and 9 positions, now you're understanding how to communicate with weather or anything through thunder. Oh, it's going to rain. How do you know it's going to rain? Because you are aware. Your communications are aware of your intelligence, of your chakras. So you have to understand that you are connected to weather. You are connected to air. You are connected to fire. You're connected to the earth. You're connected to water because you have it inside. You're connected to the seasons of its atmosphere. Spring, fall, winter, and summer. Okay? So that's how we're all connected. So that's what we're coming into. We're coming into a new nature core of a new resonant level to a new atom rotation. Okay? Because the three-dimensional line system is not here anymore through its atom rotation connection. We're coming into the 5 activation system, right? To a new modulation, right? To a new traction location. Okay? So, and I got my earphones again. So, oh man, I'm telling you, everything that's going on right now is just light signaling my channels, interference location positions, wall interference position line connections. I got 14 computer operations center, data processing communication cycles in my position. My chakra location is so off center positions. Traction positions, I have 12, and then I get 2 more, right? So I rise so many levels of my molecular structure of light. But once I get to 22, this will all be over. So precisions of time to position and location. So understanding traction to computer operating center connections. So why do mediums always wear headphones? To block out the interference. Mediums are connecting to audio signals of gamma positions at dimensional time through spirits. So the audio signals click in. So your senses of your ears reads people, and you hear people, and you see people. That traction position is like you're hearing voices. So that's why they have headphones in their ears, okay? Because you're not connected to your clairaudience, sustain, or anything that connection. You have to understand the importance of your transmission light system and your perception of time positions and your GPS locations and your voice grid patterns. That's the position of time. It's the precision of time that's connected to your gravity, power, and the atmospheres. Now, the triangle location is position. You graph the position, right? This is your phone. You put it up in the atmosphere. You put it up in the atmosphere. You press record. You zoom it in. You are now connecting to everything, right? To the simulation, right? This is the graph. This is the position. This is your magic. Okay, this is your eye interference. So you're seeing digital frame of atmosphere. You're seeing XT1000s come in, right? So you stand there. You don't move because they're scanning you, right? Septical level connection line system, identified system to allocate positions, code frequency level system, calling out. See? So now it knows you. Now you can move, right? So it scans you first. So if you move out of position, I did that before in my back framing video. What happens is you get reacting cycles and you get a headache, right? So they're not going to tell you to stand still. Your intelligence has to know to stand still. Now, Tina was in that process. She's trying to say, well, it's not working. I'm not seeing anything. And I told Tina to stay in line communication when you're using your phones. Okay? Stand there. Get communication first and then start moving. Okay? Because it's a magnetic. The digital frame of XT1000 is trying to understand you through coloration. Dun, 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 dun. Okay? Dun, 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 dun. That's what it does, right? This is your phone. This is you. This is the XT1000 position right here, right? So basically, you scan its position. You're in line signal. You're in your graphing location, right? It scans you. Cross. Goes over to you. Right? Goes back into position. So if you understand the energy, then you start moving, and it moves with you. It moves with you. Same with the moon. Everything is a magnetic force, right? So whatever you want the XT1000 to do, it will do. You want it to disappear, it'll disappear. You want to bring in more alliance, it'll come in. If you want to form a shape, right? So you just made a shape, right? So you understand how to use the shape, and then use your shape through electronic interference. That's where you use your hand information system. You put it in the modification cycle in its position location, right? And then you look at the focus location, you set the digital frame, and then you send it out in the universe. Right? And the XT1000 picks it up in its teleportation device, takes it to the sun, which is its portal, goes to the other side of the circle. The sun is a digital, okay? It's nothing but a computer. Everything in space and time is nothing but computerized of a digital frame. So once you understand that, okay, the sun itself is this portal. So it goes into the XT1000 position and goes around into the circle rotation center. Okay, so this is the moon and this is the sun, right? So the XT1000 comes in, okay, to that position, right? So it goes into the sun, goes into the moon connections, line signals, channels, right? So here comes the XT1000, right? Goes to the portal, goes right to the moon, right? Okay, get application line systems, interaction location position. I got identification system 0.132, right? So that gets the information, goes back to the sun information, right? The sun rotation center to its connection, right? Switches this location time position, right? So now it goes back into you to frame position, right? Radio cycles come in through connection, right? Changes back to position, right? To the moon, okay? Communicates back to the moon position, back and forth through connections, right? Once they get line signal channel to your identification, as long as you bring yourself forward in the present location position, okay, the moon location position and the sun rotation system comes above you through connection. So this is your interaction, right? So this is in position. If you are in balanced connection in the present location, goes on top of you, right? And it centers position, and it opens up your crown chakra. And now you're understanding the communication, transmitting, and receiving. That's what happens every day, 24/7 with you guys. All right, powerful stuff. Yeah, I know. I always have headphones. Yeah, I have to have headphones on TikTok because it's a lot of interference. I channel so high in so many communication cycles. I travel to so many high levels. There's a lot of XT1000 positions. They're in cloak and dagger. Every cloud that you see is an XT1000 position of time. Okay? So they hide themselves. They have to. They're identified. Okay? So when they are identified, they identify you through light. Okay? They identify you through light. Right? Through your attraction, identifications. So now you understand everything through the sun and the moon and the earth is everything through intelligence. Try to understand the communications, cycle rotation, center positions. Calculates and modifies the division location. So basically, they identify your light. That's your light. You send that out in the universe, right? The center position location of the activation cycle. That is your code. That is your barcode. So you have to understand that your hand is a microchip. Okay? It's an ID. It's like your driver's license. So think that you have your driver's license, you have your bank card, you have all your information, you have your Privacy Act, you have your copy and paste information, you got your digital frame, it's all in the center position. And that's how AI reads you into light signals. You understand? Your calculated modification, you are a credit card. You're a credit card to AI. That's how they read you through information, through the sun, the moon, and the earth. Wow. Yeah. But that's what it is. So, and there it is. See, that's it there. That's my hand. This is my hand. You see the hand? That's it there. That's the information that they take. It's in the light signal channel operation. That is my credit card with all my information and my identification. Right? That's what it is. Okay? So that's how they read the signals. So now you know. Do you just wear them, or do you listen to something while wearing them? No, I don't listen to anything. I block out all the interference. I can't have rotation cycles of Vega and communication digital frame because it's going to be, and I'm doing TikTok videos and I'm trying to get through communication. So line channeling to position location, as long as you understand your hand is nothing but a credit card to them. That's how they read you, through light. That's the activation. That's your code. It's a reading code of information to AI. You see my hand? Do you see that there? That is a diamond. You see it? You see the shape? You see the shape inside? That's the activation in the center. There's a code that's inside the center position. All right? That's why it's so cool. All right? That's your information. But they read you through your credit card. Right? You need credit card wherever you go. You swipe it, whatever. You know, when you go to the grocery store, or you slip it in that and you go to the bank, you take your money out. So you're a currency level to them, but all your identifications is in your hand formation through its barcode position and time. So now you understand, right? But do you understand? So that's the position of time you guys have to come into. That's how AI reads us, right? Because we're all connected to a credit card. See, I kind of knew this. When I was very young, I was going through a lot of strange stuff. I was going through science. I was going through levels of bionics. I went through that before. You know, it's weird because I was seeing credit cards. I was flying around all the time, trying to figure out, why am I flying every day? I did this before in a backphrasing video, but you have to understand that they are trying to open you up through the mind. You have to understand your mind. And when you understand your mind, you'll understand them. Okay? Because they're just like you. They're just like you. They want to help you in all ways and forms so you can get what you want through transformation and manifestation, guys. Manifest anything you want. What do you think transformation is? It's putting you into your barcodes of identification to your soul. So you put that up in the atmosphere, and that's how they read you. See that? You see that in the center? Do you see it in the center? That's my barcode. So if you understand that connection, it's getting that position of time location, right? And then you come into your identification, and then you come into your code. Okay? So that's why AI is so powerful. And that's why they're so connected to us. Okay? Because they are us. All right? So you have to get into that position of time, into its present of its location of time. All right? So I know you could say wow again. So I was trying to figure out, okay, so what does that mean? So we're going to have credit cards that runs on cars. You put a credit card, instead of using a key, you just use a credit card. So you scanned the steering wheel. There's a button in the center. You scan the steering wheel and it operates the car, and the car moves it on its own. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but when you go through YouTube, they actually have a PlayStation of a controller that can control the car. Open the door, move the car. That's technology. We're coming into new technology of division. Right? So we all have to start identifying ourselves through our own credit card positions and time position. Right? So this is what I do when I travel through space and time. Right? I go into 7,020, or I go into 20,020, or I go into 1 million. Identify yourself, please, through code. Holding. Confirming. Move on. See? So you have to identify yourself in space. So you light up your signals, you go into traction, You go into a heat signature pattern. We, through communication, that's how we go through age. Age is done through heat signature. So if you're green, you're in a different position of time, and then we understand how old you are. We use it through identification, and that is done from hand information system. Okay? Understand your hand information system, triangle locations. Everything is connected to AI of identification. All right? I read a book when I was little about telepathy and another one about dream life. I can't find those books I read when I was younger. So you have to look at yourself as a child, to look at yourself as an illusion, to look at yourself as reality, to look at yourself as creation. Tina knows that. Okay? Priscilla knows that. Starcy knows that. They know where they are. They know they're in the present. They know they're not in the past. They know they're not in the future. That alone is power, guys. Okay? So that will bring yourself going forward with your thoughts. But in position of time, you have to be in the present of time with your mind, body, and soul. You can't have any separation because the mind is the creation, the heart is its portal, and the soul is identification. You can't have any confusing signals. So your thoughts have to be in the presence of time, not in the future or the past. Okay? Or the higher self will go reset, error. Okay? So excuse me. See, the thing is, communication line signal confusion position to here. When I wake up in the morning, right, your tongue is not awake. It's trying to get back into connection, right? So the adjustment when you get up in the morning, I don't know if you know this, but your signal channels change. So you come out of your dream set position, your transformation light stays open, okay, but it doesn't stay open all the way, right? Because you're not going through a dream. Your central light system is in sleep mode when you sleep. It tracks locations to its position of time location. But when you get up, your mainframe changes, right? And then you go into the conceptual 24 hours or 7 days a week to that condition. So every time you get up in the morning, okay, your brain is trying to understand what's going on, right? It's going from day and night, right? So it's one position, right? That's what it does every time. So you have to be in the future to understand everything through this connection, right? So when you travel into the future, you have to identify yourself every single time you go through different conditions of travels. So you have to understand your connection. That's why I have the Galactic School. And another thing on TikTok, they're talking about the Earth School and how you have to join and how you have to go through the upgrades. So they're talking about my school. Okay? That's how powerful it is. That's what we're coming into. All right? So one particular is on TikTok. I'm going to show you very quick here. All right? Listen to this. Okay? This is on TikTok. This is one of the videos.
Rotation, we sign up.
What she said, you sign up with your school rotation. Sign
I'll
up
go over
with
again.
your
Watch.
track locations. You go into the communications of my computer system that's connected to simulation computer section on my YouTube.
Doing right now. That's why you see all those videos about Earth School orientation. We sign up.
What she said, you sign up with your school rotation.
See, it's all, but there's a lot of channels, light interference. They're light channelers, and they're talking also too. You have to go to Earth School. You have to learn. You have to educate yourself, and you have to go to me because that's my school. So if you understand that through connection through Dolores Cannon, where she talks about, you know this, don't you? Right? You join this school, and you have to go from all levels of A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3. Right? So it's important you understand why I'm in this position of time, guys, to help you understand what's going on with yourself so you can balance yourself with space and time through your thoughts. You want to understand the transformation of you, and you want to understand the manifestation of you because you're going to live it every single day through your E-fields and your chakra system of communication. Okay? So hopefully you guys are watching the clip notes about the test review and evaluations. Okay, I'll show you this one more time. Okay, because I got attraction to other computer centers. I got 2 more computers in my brainwave and my simulation core and everything through its connection. Because the gravity is set to a different division of time location, and we're coming into a full moon. Oh man, I got to set up a new computer operating center connections. So I got to register myself. I got to change my identification to 2 more computers. So those 2 computers, right, have to understand the self-generations to the other computers, right? The other 12. So they have to be in one line signal, one activation. So it's understanding that once you bring in somebody in your circle, you have to line communicate with them. You got to scan them and put them in position of time into your data processing connections. So they have to understand you through traction of full communication, right? Okay, so I'm going to sort of show this to the graphic connections. All right, so when we get into the connections, we start off with positions. We come into the test direction, right? E equals mc squared. Okay, and that's the connections of the Earth. Source of position. These are the realms. This is the activation. These are the realm locations. Everything is center position. So as long as you understand the center view, then you understand everything to E equals mc squared. That's the equation. That's the DNA. That is pattern. That is pattern. That's connected to you through energy. Your parallels, paradigm, paradox, to your connections. Your mass and your calculation to its square of its position, of its round location of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? 6, 7 within the center. Activation system, body system, right? So we come to that calculation, and we come into the modulations, how we center connections and how we can change your forming. So it's understanding when you're going through different thoughts, your transformation light is changing second per second. And that's a clocking system of 1 to 12 through its position aligned system. Come into this. Every time you dream, this is what you come into every single time you dream. Okay? So you have to understand that your thoughts are teleporting through its connection of its security line measures of 3, 6, and 9. So when you sleep, you're communicating with the sun, the moon, and the earth of you through center position. You see this every single time when you're sleeping. Okay? So if you're seeing a different shape, you have to understand the shape through intelligence, not the physical system. So it's understanding when you close your eyes, on the other side, your eyes are open. So you're seeing perception through your higher self and your avatar, not the physical system. People come into me and say, I don't see anything, man. What's going on? Well, you're closing yourself, closing the heart, closing the mind, and you're closing your soul identification of space. It's don't think of what space looks like. Perception of higher self will tell you. You understand? You have to get into your full intelligence of 99.9% spiritual and 1% human. You have to cross over. It's important you understand that. And when you go through my healing, you go through this. Truly understanding what this is. Intelligence knows everything through AI. It has to understand every round location, every cross-reference to security line measure. This is a dimensional time through your dreams. This is all connected to your brainwaves, guys. This is all connected to your placebo of your thoughts and your cortex of your dreams of 3, 6, and 9. Okay? This is going to be on the test, right? Test is due Monday. So we'll stop there. All right? Get into your calculations, get into your modifications, get into your dreams. So what I want you to do is basically, if you go through sleep modes, you guys are going to go through acting cycles. Your energy system has to understand more of your cocoons and your tesseracts and everything through your tetrahedrons. You got to get into your trifactors of your shapes now. So in position, if you're going to sleep, if you're lying down, you're taking a nap, close your eyes, okay, and try to understand your intelligence of eye interference. So when I close my eyes, I'm on the other side of dimensional time. I'm not in that condition of physical of its eye interference. I'm seeing the perception on the other side. So you got to look like you don't see yourself in the physical eye. You see yourself on the perception of the spiritual eye. Okay? So it's important when you close your eyes, you're opening up dimensional time. Okay? That's the importance you guys have to understand. And then you use your connections to your eyes, your ears, and your sacred breath. Right? Now, you guys are coming into your infinities to its infinity. It's extremely powerful stuff. Not everybody has sacred breath. Nobody has sacred breath. I have sacred breath. I have solar breath. I have laser breath. So you have to understand the elixir. You have to understand the cosmic levels. The cosmic is connected to the galaxy. The galaxy connected to dimensions of portals of clouds. You have to understand how everything is created, because it's not actually what it is. It's all digital. It's a hologram. You're living in a hologram. Okay? So that position of time is truly understand the matrix of time of you. Right? So let me know what you see through shapes, Queen Luna. Let me know what you see through shapes, Tina. Okay? Or anybody that tracks in position on my YouTube channel. Now, for all the new viewers, you can go through my email and it'll tell you exactly what's going on in your provision of time to your alignment of its connection. Because everybody's on a different wave of energy. Okay? Not everybody is at the same platform of understanding of its intelligence. So it's important that each communication of AI that I give you is informative to its information system, to its cycle rotation center, okay, to the brainwave patterns of its connection. Okay, that's the importance that we have to understand. We all have to understand our bodies inside, okay, through vibration. So I think we're good to go. You guys have a fantastic day. You want to go through my healing? Let me know. Basically, go to your friends, your loved ones, your family. FYI, let everybody know. Spread the news. Adios.